It is Money Monday here on the Browns for 5.0, and talking with Jade Beckman from Mountain America Credit Union today about car buying decisions. So we talked about credit, we've talked about looking for the right car and budgeting. What to do if you're buying from someone other than a dealer is what we're focusing on today. All right, so when it's time to buy a new car, sometimes we all think, well, one of the hardest decisions we come up with. So what options, I guess, do people have for their vehicles? I guess they already have. I mean, do you put an ad out there on KSL, or what do you do?
Yeah, well, really, I think you've got three main options, Andrew. And you mentioned if we're not talking about a dealership, then the first one's not an option. That's the trade-in.
Yeah.
You know, if you're buying from a dealership, trade-in is a convenient way to do it. You also have some tax advantages because you're only paying sales tax on the difference between the purchase price and what they are giving you. So sometimes, but then the dealer's got to make money on the deal.
Sure.
You know, so sometimes it's maybe a little bit better if you're trying to get the most out of it to sell it yourself, and that's your second option, is to sell that privately. That puts some work back on you, and you've got to put some work into it. And then the last option is, you know, donate. There are a lot of charitable foundations out there. They'll even come pick up your car or tow it away if it's not even running, or do what I did and donate to your teenage daughter.
There you go.
Never the same car again.
It never is. Something that brake doesn't work quite so well, does it?
Right.
All right, if someone decides they want to sell their car outright, what should they go about doing? Is it a determination of, if, say, I don't want to trade it in, what should you do to get your car ready for it to prepare?
Well, I think the first thing is to know the value, know what your car is worth. And there's some great resources out there. Kelley Blue Book, KBB.com is where you go for that. NADA, which is the National Auto Dealers Association.com. And they will list, they'll tell you, here's the high retail value, here's kind of the low end. And then you kind of need to know where your car fits, what the condition is.
The spectrum.
Right. Do you have a bunch of dents and dings? Have you spilled waffles in the car? You know, things like that might determine the value. And then the next thing, I think, is really determining the outlet. I'm not saying this just because I'm here with you, but KSL Cars, honestly, is one of the best local marketplaces. There are a lot of people look there. So take some photos, put it there. You've got Auto Trader, Cars.com, even Craigslist. But kind of trying to represent it the best you can in those marketplaces where a lot of people will see it.
The all-important question, how do you negotiate maybe the best price for you? I mean, I guess you could go both ways, and how do you negotiate a good price if you're trying to buy? But if you're trying to sell, how do you negotiate a good price?
Well, you know, I think maybe the best advice I can give is try as much as possible to check the emotion out of it. It might be your car, you know, that I took my wife on a date in, you know, our first date, and it has a lot of emotional ability to me, but that's not necessarily going to be the case with a buyer. And also, I might get a lowball offer, and it's easy to, you know, get emotionally, you know, offended by that, or, you know. But it's just, check the emotion. It's you're trying to get as much as you can. On the other side is a buyer who's trying to pay the least amount that they can. And try to know where your boundaries are. How much do I want to get, and what's kind of my minimum that I'll take? How
can we find some more tips? Because I know it's tough to really get I don't know, everybody seemingly has a stake in the game. So how do you get some good advice on what to do that's objective?
Well, our website has a whole auto center that talks about financing and things like this. You know, how to sell your car. MACU.com is where you can go to find that.
Perfect. Appreciate it. Jake Beckman with us from Mountain America Credit Union on a Money Monday. We do it every Monday about this time, folks, so it's a lot of good information. Stay tuned. Jade, appreciate it.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Lori.
Now, trying to